What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have another Game of Thrones the card game match from the Massacre at Hardhome, held in Cleveland, Ohio. We are now in round 2, so the first of 2 videos going up for round 2 on the channel. In the playlist, if you haven't seen the other ones, go check them out. On the left we have Rob, which is myself. On the right we have Nick. Nick's playing Martell Fealty. I'm running Greyjoy Rains of Castamere. Looks like I got Aaron Dampere, a Iron Islands Fishmonger, an Iron Fleet Scout, and an Iron Mines in play for setup, so pretty good. And on the other side, we got 2 Desert Scavengers, Maester Caliot, Arrow Hota played straight up, and no locations. So both players getting a 4-card setup. It's pretty juicy. No economy on either side, though, other than our little weenie characters, which do help. And looks like he was looking for the Summer Harvest, playing a Varys Riddle, but he hits a Noble Cause, and that does nothing. But does win him initiative. And we did see Nick play in the first round. I believe he won. And this is my first game of the day. I did have a bye the first round. We had an uneven number, and Jousting Pavilion gave me the bye, which was really nice to help me set up the live stream, make sure everything was working. To have that first round off was pretty sweet. And then after that first round, a player dropped and made us an even number, so no more buys for the rest of the day. So I got the only buy on the day, which is pretty cool. Looks like I get a sea tower out there. Looks like I'm going first.
No, the actual card? Yeah, the actual card. Is he a box or is he in one of the...
Whatever that symbol's for?
I don't know the symbols.
I assume a chapter pack, based on
And it sounds like Nick was just asking what set Aaron Dampere comes from, so... so yeah, we're trying to figure it out by the symbol, but weren't sure.
or cards people play.
Yeah, that too. That would be nice.
So which lord or lady do I have here, and why did I play Noble Cause? But maybe I drew into another option. So Sea Tower and the Iron Islands Fishmonger, plus Noble Cause, and we get Victorion out there to start, which is always nice to see when you're going first, due to his awesome Intimidate ability.
I don't know if I want to know what's going on in that game.
And Corsair's Dirk, give him +2 strength, and when he wins attacking, he's going to be able to jack a gold from your opponent's gold pool and throw it in my gold pool, which is great against Martell and Targaryen, who are usually saving money. I guess even Lannister, these kind of factions that always seem to save gold to do punishing events back to you when it gets around to their challenges. So it's always nice to steal gold to prevent a vengeance for Elia and those kind of things. So that's what I'm hoping happens here. It looks like I sit on a gold. And we got Dornish Fiefdoms put into play, obviously getting 2 gold back, since he is going second. And it looks like he's kneeling Fealty there. And we got Venomous Blade played out to kill the Iron Islands Fishmonger. So now is when I start getting worried that I'm about to get smacked with a March to the Wall next turn. I just know what's going to happen when I got 2 6-costers on the board, and then I realize what kind of deck I'm playing against across the board. But in my mind, I'm always thinking when I don't have dupes, even though I have Iron Mines, which is great.
Yeah, it's at the end of this.
Yeah, so I put him back out there because I realized Venomous Blade didn't kill instantly. It just puts a token on him, and he doesn't actually get killed to the end of phase. And then I got to rethink, knowing that a March to the Wall is probably coming, those Iron Mines probably should be used to keep that Iron Islands Fishmonger in play. I remember that's what I started thinking there was, you know, I'm probably playing against a Varys deck, and if I don't have dupes out there or bodyguards, those guys are just going to get discarded anyway. But if I can force my opponent to play his Varys early, I'm good with that. That's fine. Just got to keep in mind, like, don't overextend on the board against a Varys deck, and maybe try to make Varys, my opponent, not think of doing Varys, or making it hurt him a little more than it hurts me.
Not ours. Yeah, that's why.
But we'll see what happens. Gotta worry about this Martell style deck. You gotta worry about small boards, Vengeance for Elia is happening, Varys happening, and, you know, thinning you out with like First Snow, Winters, and a March to the Walls. Those are the, as I've heard it called, the, you know, take you to 0 decks or whatever they're called, where the opponent's just trying to drill your board down to nothing and just kind of win late game by pushing through unopposed challenges. So it looks like I do use the Iron Mines on the Iron Islands Fishmonger, knowing that keeping that Iron Islands Fishmonger on the board should prevent a March to the Wall hitting one of my 6-cost characters next turn. But him being able to play Venomous Blade, I think for $2 or $3, I can't remember how much that is, but
Reaction, right?
basically it's just
Yeah. I haven't played with the tech. I apologize. Yeah,
No,
it's
you're
like,
good.
there's something there with saving. Alright, let's do...
Oh, and I realized I forgot to trigger Aaron Dampere to stand the Iron Islands Fishmonger after he's saved from Iron Mines. And I get it done. And challenges, looks like I'm starting with Victorion Greyjoy here. Not sure which challenge, but he is +2 strength, so I'm coming in for 7. I have 2 Iron Fleet Scouts on the board going first, so I'm able to add another 4 strength if I need to. So it looks like it was a military challenge. The +1 strength off Venomous Blade means it's defended for 6 from Area Hota. But I still win. Oh, I'm winning. But now I'm deciding after defenders are declared in the action window there, before we resolve the challenge, whether I want to buff, which I do. Add another 2 strength. Because I think I'm looking to kneel Kaliot is what I want to do there. And I get a Renown, and Intimidate is Kaliot.
Oh, yeah, because you get +2.
So trying to minimize the impact coming back at me on the attack. And we do see he has an Orphan of the Greenblood there that he bestowed for 2, which could be used to return Hota back to hand and get that Venomous Blade back, which I think is a great little interaction there. So it looks like I'm blowing up an Ornish Fiefdoms with a We Do Not Sow there, which I feel is a great trade. Try to limit his economy and his recovery, because I mean, if you're playing a reset deck and they're not able to, oh, there's Varys. Speaking of the devil, Varys is gone. I mean, if they're able not to recover from their Varyses and that kind of thing, because they're basically have no money to play stuff out on the board, they might be less inclined to play Varys in general. And it looks like unopposed power challenge coming from the Martell player there. And he is going to spend the 1 gold to do the action off the Orphan of the Greenblood to put Hota back in hand with the Venomous Blade. Which is a little gross.
3 cards for 6.
So the other thing that first round, Nick not saving any gold and using to put it into bestow. Let me be a little more aggressive there on the military, trying to kneel Hota using Intimidate, but he knelt him on the defense. But I was just trying to make sure I didn't lose a military challenge to lose another body to be susceptible to the march. And it seemed to work out. So counting coppers into duel. So he gets an early game duel here, which is trouble. So I have 2 6-cost characters. One's going to have to kneel, one's going to have to die. And cannot be saved. So I'm going to draw cards just to see. Try to educate myself on which one should I kneel, which one should I kill. Because if I drew into one of their dupes, you don't want to kill that one. You maybe want to keep them on the board and throw the dupe down. So I'm going to kneel Victorion and just kill Dampere.
And then draw 2.
And looks like I was chosen to go first.
I was like,
Yeah.
if it has to happen again.
Let's not play this guy.
I think it was just checking the text, making sure plot deck limit 1 was on that dual card to know. Should I basically not play any more 6 or 7 costers on the board, or, that kind of thing, if I had to run into it again. But if the game goes long enough, I may see it again, I'm sure. So I got quite the hand of cards now. Lots of options, but economy-wise, only have the 2 gold, Sea Tower, and Iron Islands Fishmonger. And I need to get another body on the board, I think. And it sucks that I can't use Victorion to try to get a power on him this turn, due to him being knelt. I usually like to try to get that 2 power on him as fast as possible, obviously, so he can then use his ability to save himself. But I've seen Varys now, and that's kind of the last thought on my mind, is saving my characters from being killed, really. But I also have to keep an eye on, those March to the Walls on the 1 character board too. So I play a Priest to the Drowned God. who then gets hit by a Venomous Blade.
And I'll keep 1 gold.
And we got 1 gold saved, and Edric Dane out there, of course, and we know that 1 gold's probably for him. So I think I'm going to have to use that second Iron Mines here to save that Priest of the Drowned God, because I do not want to lose that character. And if I'm just trading Venomous Blade for Iron Mines, I mean, that sucks for me, but Venomous Blade doing its job, I guess. But he's not really gaining the board advantage using it, so... It's preventing me from lining up a Juicy Valor. So it seems like I'm debating my challenges here. Oh no, I'm debating the Iron Mine still, sorry. And yeah, I'm going to use it to save. Keep some characters on the board.
We'll give him a military.
So he spends the gold right off the bat on Edric Dane to give him a military icon. Which is interesting. I mean, you could wait on that. But now I know he has no money.
Black with Colette.
So I think I'm coming in on an intrigue challenge against the Martell players. Something you always want to do. Try to remove stupid his Viper's Eyes from their hand. And it looks like I'm going to buff him. And buff him again. Trying to get my range trigger off here to win by enough. And which I'm going to do. And see, now he spent the buck on Edric Dane. Makes me want to kneel Edric Dane to prevent the military challenge. Which I probably would have done anyway. So Kaliot steals the power icon off my Iron Islands Fishmonger using his ability after losing a challenge. And it looks like I'm using Power Behind the Throne to get Victirion back standing. Try to get that extra power on him so he can save himself. And do some Intimidate on my opponent. So I was thinking Filthy Accusations, but then I realized with the Intimidate. And a second Varus on Intrigue Claim. Kids, that's why you put Intrigue pressure on the Martell player. Especially when they don't have gold for Vengeance for Elia. But even getting a Vengeance out of hand on an Intrigue challenge, sometimes it's not too shabby. So of course, Victirion's going to stand. And if I do power, you got the Orphan of the Green Blood can block for 2, or a military challenge. And Edric, I think, can block for 1. So I'm doing the math here, thinking, what do I want to intimidate? Who do I want to bait on the defense? I guess it doesn't matter either way, but claim is good too. And it's going to be the military challenge to get the Venomous Blade back in hand. And that's the one thing I was debating, not doing the military challenge. Just to keep the Venomous Blade out on the board, which I probably should have done. And maybe just done power to steal a power instead. And we got the unopposed power coming back. Yeah, looking back, I should have probably done a power challenge there of Victirion.
That's it.
One for Dom.
Yep.
We do see a Vengeance for Elia in hand also. And he discards a Pyromancer's on the taxation phase there. Which I'm happy to see. So coming out of the challenge phase, both have 3 characters. This is what I like to see. Trying to get down to 0 characters on the board against these Martell decks is my goal. But I'm only sitting at 4 power and he's sitting at 3, so still a tight game here. Could go either way. And late summer feast into retaliation.
Yep.
So I'm going to get a ton of economy here, looking to play something out on the board, and it's great. I usually don't expect to go first, and I wanted to go first here with Victirion on the board, and my opponent plays retaliation, which set me up first. Couldn't be any better in my mind for myself. Get a ton of economy, and hopefully keep Victirion standing and use those 2 Ironfleet Scouts to really put some pressure on my opponent, and get a dupe on Victirion now. So even against Varus, he should stick around, is the plan. And that late summer feast with Rains, hopefully I can get the intrigue off and replace that plot so my opponent's not drawing cards off it other than the intrigue challenge. But in Greyjoy, you don't always get those intrigue icons you need to see. And against a house like Martell, that's pretty heavy on intrigue. It's a little tough sometimes. But another dupe actually on King Balon, who's not going to kneel, going first on the military challenges, which is great. And a raiding longship on top of that going first. Oh, feels so good. Thanks for playing Retaliation to my opponent, Nick. That definitely set me up very nice. I mean, he may have just chose me to go first anyway, no matter what plot, if he won initiative just for the Dornish fiefdoms, which he just played one there, and just plays it and gets 2 gold off it, so it evens out. Doesn't really help him this round. And Venomous Blade, this time on the Priests of the Drowned God. And he's my only intrigue icon on the board, so can I keep him in play? That is the question here. No Iron Mines on the board this time. And I'm going to save him with a Risen from the Sea and no Hands Judgment Cancel. So he gets +1, which is going to help on the range trigger too. And he +1 off his own ability, so he's at 4 strength right now, plus the 2 Iron Fleet Scouts. I'm going first. I can get him up to 8. And across the board, I only see Kaliot with an intrigue icon. He could spend a gold on Edric to get up to 3, but that still wouldn't be enough to stop the range trigger. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. And the dupes on my big guys definitely make me feel good for Varys. But if this game goes too long and I get hit by another duel, that could be trouble. So I'm looking to close as fast as possible now, I'm sure. And we're going to start with the intrigue, trying to get the Late Summer Feast. So Kaliot goes for the block. He's probably going to steal a military icon off of Balon, I would assume, to stop his little standing shenanigans. But so here I am buffing the challenge up, trying to do the Rains of business. And I think I have to do both of them there. Yeah, to get him to 8. Which I win by 6. Forced reaction, making sure I trigger that there, so my opponent gets obviously draws to get an extra card.
Yeah, that would just have to be first, right?
Yeah, because it's the force reaction.
And now the range trigger. Which I could just probably play. I think Filthy Accusations would be a good call here. Just kneeling Edric. And then crush through an unopposed military. Oh, actually, kneeling the Orphan of the Greenblood with the attachment would probably be good for raiding Longship. But I do kneel Edric, just playing it safe. I don't need him coming back with stealth. But now looking, I should have. I also could have used the raiding Longship to not have to buff with the Iron Fleet Scouts there over Kaliot. I could have just reduced Kaliot's strength and then did 1 Iron Fleet Scout. But he is going to play Vengeance for Elia.
Well, I think it's only 1, right?
Oh, this is where we goof this up. So Vengeance for Elia, he's saying it uses his 2 claim, even though he's, I think, just losing the challenge. He loses the challenge, which would normally be 1 claim. He makes me the defender, basically losing as if I was the defender, which I think should only be 1 claim. But guys, let me know in the comments below if we goof this up. Later in the tournament, we checked with the TO and we went the other way to determine this. But in the early rounds of the tournament, supposedly it was goofed up a few times. But yeah, I take the 2 claim anyway. I feel like I've got a commanding lead here. I should be closing it out. I mean, not closing it out anytime soon. I'm only sitting at 4 power. But I just let it go and lose the 2 claim.
So should this get first, but then 2 claim mill would suck also, I guess.
But yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe it should have been 2 claim with the Vengeance for Elia, but I don't think so. Otherwise, wouldn't Martell just play like all 2 claim plots and just keep doing Vengeances back to you over and over? I guess they only have 3 of them in the deck, but... So Intimidate on the Orphan of the Greenblood, coming in on the unopposed military, which kills Edric. And a power challenge with King Balon to go unopposed. And it looks like no We Do Not So there on the Dornish fiefdoms. I think I just have 1 card in hand, which is kind of scary. But I do have to worry about the... I have my own Valor, my opponent's possible Valor, plus if he sees his 3rd Varys, those dupes might not matter. And if he's playing Battle of the Blackwater, that might not also matter. So we see he's discarding for Taxation, gets rid of an Iron Throne, and another Martell location. Which could have been, what, Gas and Gray, maybe? Martell Reducer? I don't know. Either way, it's good. So Battle of the Blackwater into March of the Wall.
I'll go first.
And it looks like I'm just trying to go first there, playing the 8 initiative, but I guess it's good to get rid of character, but does send the Venomous Blade back to hand. So Venomous Blade doing work. But I mean, if he's spending gold on that and I'm able to keep the characters in play, he's definitely losing out on the math there. If he's not putting characters on the board and he just keeps playing that over and over again. So I get a great haul. And all my dupes are gone. This could get scary here. And it looks like I have Asha in hand. I didn't see what the other card was. I'm at 10 power though. Can I close it out here before we have to worry about Varys in the dominance phase from Last of the Giants, or worry about a Valor next turn, which would be gross. And I think that's what I know is coming. But Battle of Blackwater's setting that up nicely, but I mean, it is you go through a whole round first before the Valor, so it might be too little too late here. I think I'm deciding, do I go all in and just play out everything I have? And yeah, the Reader. Oh, it's the Reader and Asha in hand, so I think I was deciding which one to play. And I think I'm going Rains trigger heavy here, so still haven't done the Filthy Accusations. Or no, did I just do that? I forget which one I just played. Sorry, guys. You guys know which one I just played. Not sure what else I'd have in hand, or in my scheme deck that would do some damage here. But the Reader also may help me draw cards. So that's the other thing. If it does go more rounds, cards is what I need to see. I'm definitely losing on the hand battle there. Being down to 1 or 2 cards in hand while my opponent basically is chucking for taxation every round. And he still has Arrow Hota in hand, we see. Went back earlier in the game. Still hasn't seen a comeback. And I think he's debating saving the gold just to possibly do Hota to prevent me from winning the challenge.
I don't think this is how it works, but... Because I guess I'll just ask you, because then the game will end, I guess. You can't fealty.
Oh, I see. He's asking if you can fealty on ambush to reduce Hota, which you cannot do. So he doesn't have enough money to do that and play another character. So I guess he realizes that he can't get enough icons or characters on the board to stop all my challenges, unopposed, renown, business. Especially with raiding Longship out there. I'm going first. So I think Nick realized here, I remember him discussing, thinking it's just he has not enough gold to do what he needs to make it go another round. Which is exactly what I wanted to happen. Knowing Battle of Blackwater is just played, I definitely am either going to walk into a dominance phase of Varys, which I think is maybe what else he had in hand, or into a Valor next turn. Oh, he did have the Varys thing. That's what he said. So he needed Hota plus the Last of the Giants play into Varys and didn't have enough gold for it. Which is definitely, I attribute that to my We Do Not Sow on his early Dornish fiefdoms there to seal the deal. So locked him down on economy, kept the pressure on, and yeah, congrats to me. So more videos coming up from the series, guys. Thanks to everyone that donates on patreon.com. Thanks everyone for liking, subscribing, and all that business. And if you haven't, please do so. I appreciate the support. And just thanks a lot for being here and watching. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. More videos coming up from this series. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot for watching.